Most solar panel owners are about to make the same mistake they make every single year. They're going to let August turn into September, September turn into October, and by the time the first cold grey week of November arrives, when they actually need their solar system to perform, they're going to wonder why their production numbers are half what they were in June. They're going to assume it's just the shorter days, just the lower sun angle, just winter being winter, and they'll be partially right. Winter sun is weaker, days are shorter, there's less solar energy available in December than in July. That part is physics and nobody can fix it. But here's what most solar owners don't know. A significant portion of that winter production drop has nothing to do with the sun. It has everything to do with 5 specific maintenance and adjustment steps that almost nobody does before the season changes. Steps that take a single afternoon. Steps that cost almost nothing. Steps that determine whether your system captures 60% of available winter sunlight or 95% of it. The difference between those two numbers on a system you've already paid for, on panels already on your roof, is the difference between a system that covers your winter energy needs and one that leaves you buying grid power through the coldest months of the year. I'm going to walk you through all 5 today, in order of impact, starting with the one that costs the solar industry the most money when you actually do it. Before we get into it, hit that like button right now and subscribe to Lost Tech Vault. This channel is built around one principle. The energy industry sells you systems and then quietly profits from you not maintaining them correctly. Every video here closes that gap. Subscribe and turn on notifications. You're going to want every piece of what's coming on this channel over the next few months. Step 1. Clean your panels the right way, not the way you think. Every solar owner knows panels need cleaning. Almost every solar owner cleans them wrong. Here's what happens over a summer. Pollen settles in April and May and leaves a thin, invisible film across the entire panel surface. Dust accumulates through June and July. Bird droppings land and bake onto the glass in August heat. By the end of summer, your panels look reasonably clean from the ground, maybe a little dusty, but at the microscopic level, the glass surface is coated with a layer of organic residue, mineral deposits from hard water sprinklers, and oxidized particulate that standard rinsing does not remove. This film does not block sunlight the way a shadow does. It scatters it, diffuses it. Instead of light passing cleanly through the glass to the photovoltaic cells beneath, it bounces off residue particles at random angles. The result is a consistent 15 to 25% reduction in light absorption that shows up as lower production numbers every single day. The fix is not a hose. A hose removes loose dust and nothing else. What you need is a gentle wash with a non-abrasive soap. Dish soap works fine, applied with a soft microfiber cloth or a soft bristle brush on an extension pole, followed by a clean water rinse with no minerals in it. If your tap water is hard, finish with a distilled water rinse or a squeegee pass. Hard water rinsing leaves mineral deposits that create the same scattering problem you just removed. Do this in the early morning before panels heat up. Cleaning hot panels with cool water can cause thermal stress on the glass. Morning wash, clean rinse, let them dry before peak sun hours. One afternoon, 20 to 25% production recovery, zero cost beyond a bottle of dish soap. Step 2. Adjust your tilt angle for winter sun. This is the step that almost nobody does, and it is the single highest impact adjustment on this entire list. Here's the geometry. In summer, the sun tracks high across the sky. A panel tilted at 15 to 20 degrees from horizontal captures that high summer sun efficiently. In winter, the sun tracks low, depending on your latitude, significantly lower. A panel angled for summer sun is now pointed at the wrong part of the sky for 5 months. The rule for optimal winter production is simple. Your panel tilt angle should equal your latitude plus 15 degrees. If you are at 35 degrees latitude, your winter tilt should be 50 degrees. If you are at 40 degrees latitude, your winter tilt should be 55 degrees. Most residential installations are fixed at a compromise angle, typically latitude plus 5 to 10 degrees, that performs adequately year-round, but optimally in neither season. If your mounting system allows manual tilt adjustment, changing it before September and back again in March captures dramatically more winter production. Ground-mounted systems almost always allow this adjustment. Many flat-roof commercial installations do as well. Pitched-roof residential mounts typically do not, though aftermarket tilt adjustment kits exist for some racking systems and are worth researching for your specific setup. If your system is fixed and unadjustable, you cannot fix this today. but you need to know it is happening so you stop blaming winter underperformance entirely on weather. Step 3. Check every connection in your system for corrosion. Summer heat does something to electrical connections that most solar owners never think about. Thermal expansion and contraction through repeated high-temperature days causes micro-movement at every junction in your system. DC connectors, combiner box terminals, charge controller connections, battery terminals if you have storage, all of them experience this movement. Over a summer, it loosens things slightly, creates micro gaps. And in a DC low voltage system, a slightly loose or corroded connection doesn't just reduce efficiency, it creates resistance that generates heat, which accelerates corrosion further, which increases resistance further. A bad connection getting worse every week. The symptom is production numbers that are lower than your monitoring software predicts without a clear reason. The panels look fine, the inverter is running, but the numbers are consistently 8 to 12% under expected output. That gap lives in your connections. Before September, physically inspect every accessible connection in your system. Look for green or white corrosion on terminals. Look for MC4 connectors that have moisture intrusion. They should snap together firmly with no play. Check battery terminals if you have a storage system, clean them with a baking soda and water solution if you see any corrosion, dry completely, and apply a thin coat of dielectric grease before reconnecting. This takes 2 hours and costs under $5 in materials. A single corroded connection in a string array can pull down the output of every panel in that string simultaneously. Finding it before winter means recovering that loss across 5 months of already reduced production days. Step 4. Clear the shade you forgot about. Here's something counterintuitive about shade and solar panels. A shadow covering 5% of one panel in a string array does not reduce that panel's output by 5%. In a series string without optimizers, it can reduce the output of every panel in the string by 30 to 50%. This is how string array wiring works. The weakest panel sets the ceiling for the entire string. In summer, trees are full and shade patterns are visible and obvious. In late winter and early spring, those same trees are bare or sparse, and the shade problem disappears or shrinks. Which means shade issues that develop in summer, a branch that grew significantly this year, a new structure casting afternoon shadow will be at their worst in winter when sun hours are already limited and the sun angle is lower, creating longer shadows from every obstacle. Walk your property on a clear afternoon in late August and look at your panels every hour from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Note any shadow that touches any panel at any point during that window. Trim what you can trim. For shade you cannot remove, understand which panels it hits, and talk to your installer about whether adding optimizers or microinverters to those specific panels is worth the investment. Step 5. Test your battery system under real load. If your solar setup includes battery storage, August is your last easy opportunity to stress test it before you actually need it. Here's what happens to batteries that sit underutilized through summer, which is common because summer production often exceeds consumption, and batteries spend long periods at or near full charge. Lead-acid batteries sulfate when held at full charge for extended periods. Even lithium iron phosphate batteries benefit from a full discharge and recharge cycle to recalibrate the battery management system's state of charge readings. Run your battery bank down to 20% under real load, not a test discharge, actual household loads, and then charge it back to 100% from solar. Watch the charge time, watch the voltage curve, watch how your monitoring system reports state of charge throughout the cycle. A battery bank that takes significantly longer to reach full charge than it did in spring, or one that shows voltage sag under moderate loads that was not there before, has capacity loss that needs to be factored into your winter planning now and not discovered in January when you need that storage most. If you have a battery bank that is 3 or more years old, consider having it load tested before September. A $20 battery load tester tells you whether your storage is performing at rated capacity or whether winter is about to reveal a problem that has been developing quietly all year. 5 steps. 1 afternoon. The solar system you've already paid for performing at 90% of its winter potential instead of 60%. That's the difference between energy independence through winter and a utility bill that climbs every month from November through February while you wonder why the panels on your roof aren't doing more. Subscribe to Lost Tech Vault. Next week, I'm going over the exact monitoring metrics that tell you whether your solar system is healthy or slowly degrading, The numbers your installer never explained, and your inverter has been tracking the entire time. See you next week.